Uday Umesh Lalit, the man who is known for representing Home Minister Amit Shah in the purported Sohrabuddin fake encounter case, is set to become the next Chief Justice of India on August 27. Here's a look at his career. Current CJI N.V. Ramana recommended Justice U. Lalit as his successor, which was confirmed by President Draupadi Murmu on August 10. CJI Ramana is set to retire on August 26. Justice Lalit will only have 3 months in his tenure as CJI, as the Constitution directs Supreme Court judges to retire at the age of 65. Uday Umesh Lalit was born in 1957 in Maharashtra. His father, Umesh Lalit, was a lawyer too. Justice Lalit began practice as a lawyer at the Bombay High Court in 1983. He built his practice primarily in the field of criminal law. Later in 1986, he began his practice at the Supreme Court of India. In 2004, he was designated as a senior advocate. He was appointed as a Supreme Court judge in 2014 in dramatic fashion. The UPA government had recommended Gopal Subramaniam's name for the position of Supreme Court judge. His name was later taken off the list after Narendra Modi-led NDA came to power, stating that Subramaniam had privately met the lawyer for A. Raja during the 2G case. The 2G case, which was later scrapped by a special court and acquitted A. Raja and DMK MP Kanimozhi in 2017. In his rebuttal, Subramaniam wrote that he was being targeted for displaying independence and integrity for his role in assisting the court in the 2005 case involving the alleged extrajudicial killing of Sohrabuddin Sheikh. The CJI of that time, Justice Lodha, came on record to state that the NDA government did not consult him before appointing Lalit to the Supreme Court. UU Lalit has been a representative in several high-profile cases. He has represented former Punjab CM Amarinder Singh in a corruption case. He was also counsel for actor Salman Khan, who was accused in the blackbuck poaching case, and had also represented Congress leader Navjot Singh Sidhu in a culpable homicide case. Apart from that, Lalit had also represented former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister and late Bharatiya Janata Party leader Kalyan Singh in a 1994 contempt case related to the demolition of Babri Masjid. The Sohrabuddin Sheikh fake encounter case against Home Minister Amit Shah remains the best known of his career, when he represented the latter. UU Lalit was also part of a 5-judge bench that criminalized the practice of triple talaq. In 2021, a 2-judge bench, including Justice Lalit, reversed a controversial Bombay High Court verdict. 2 judgments of the Bombay High Court's Nagpur bench had noted that skin-to-skin contact between the child and the accused was the required ingredient to constitute a case under the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, which is the POXO Act. Justice Lalit called this verdict ridiculous. Lalit also headed the bench that sentenced Vijay Mallya for 4 years imprisonment and imposed a fine of Rs 2,000. He had also convicted Mallya in 2017. Another landmark case in Lalit's career is when he held that the psychological evaluation of the prisoner on death row was mandatory, and also weighed on the need for a report on the inmate's conduct while examining whether the capital punishment remains the only resort. He was hearing multiple petitions by death row convicts. Justice Lalit had given a verdict in a domestic violence case where he had stated that there was an increasing pattern of women misusing the legal provision to implicate husbands and their relatives. He was also part of the bench which declined bail to activist Gautam Navlakha in the Elgar Parishad Maoist link case of Bhima Koregaon in Maharashtra. In March 2018, a bench headed by him had diluted some provisions of the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act, holding that the arrest of an accused was not mandatory under the Act and ought to be done only after an inquiry. After multiple protests, this order was withdrawn. Justice Uday Umesh Lalit is also a passionate proponent of the legal aid movement as the executive chairman of National Legal Services Authority. That was the career of India's next Chief Justice at a glance.
Get a sneak peek of exclusive content before everyone else for channel members only. Memberships start at Rs 89. Hit the join button below.